We're giving respect to whom it is due. Arnold Palmer is dead, but the world all over are standing up for the champion, for a legend of golf. Yemi, we're talking about even the guys currently, they are saying, look, you'll forever be remembered for what you did to golf.
I mean, revolution, in the sport, like when you talk about boxing, you talk about Muhammad Ali, people like that, they're like the bridge to the new generation. I mean, this guy just made golf popular. He's a legend, like I said, he's a trailblazer. I mean, he did a lot for the game. He's not as if he's the one that won the most titles during his era, but of course, he's the one that did a lot. At the age when television was coming in to the sport, it brought the glamour and everything. And all the guys now that are playing the game have nothing but love for him, nothing but praise for all his efforts and everything he did to put golf right up there. And golf has so improved that a lot of people even say golf is an elite sport. So much money
I know
in the game, and I mean,
it's for guys
quality.
Like this. I know, top quality. Fellow golfing greats, we'll go through some of the tributes, but fellow golfing great Jack Nicklaus, who with Palmer and Gary Player formed the fabled Big Three. You remember how competitive they were? Said in a statement, he was one of my best friends, closest friends, and he was for a long, long time. I will miss him greatly. Arnold transcended the game of golf. He was more than a golfer or even a great golfer. He was an icon. He was a legend. Arnold was someone who was a pioneer in his sport. He took the game from one level to a higher level virtually by himself. Yeah. When someone of Jack Nicklaus' quality says this about you, you're a total legend.
And he's more than golf. He's an humanitarian as well. He's done a lot for kids, for a lot of things. We can't just say enough about all the things that he has done. The USPGA,
that's right.
That's the governing body of the game, had good things to say.
Golf's greatest ambassador.
We are deeply saddened by the death of Arnold Palmer, golf's greatest ambassador.
Wow.
Coming from the USPGA, Tiger Woods.
Thanks, Arnold, for your friendship, counsel, and a lot of laughs. Your philanthropy, you mentioned that, and humility are part of your legend. Just look at great words coming.
He said there's no way he could write his story without mentioning Arnold.
Wow,
Rory played for
Rory McIlroy.
Yes.
Remembering the special times I spent with Mr. Palmer at Bay Hill, a true pioneer of our sport, forever. Remember.
And in Rory's words, look, all the things that you could say we've achieved today, if not for this man, it's not going to be possible. He pocketed 10 million pounds for winning the FedEx, and he said all of those things would just not be possible. That's right. If not for Arnold Palmer.
That's what Jack Nicklaus said, that he took the game from one level to another virtually by himself. Tribute coming from Sergio Garcia. Very sad news to hear of the passing of the great Arnold Palmer, who will miss you very much. The king and legend. Rest in peace. Ian Porter, and sad news, Mr. Arnold Palmer passed away. Golf has lost its king. His legacy will be remembered forever. Thank you for what you have done for golf.
Yeah.
Hashtag rest in peace. When you hear things like this, I think in the morning I said the word we should use is celebrate, because this guy did Graham McDowell. Just heard the news about the king. He is the king. Can't believe it. Amazing man. And his legacy in the game and in our hearts will live forever.
A life well lived.
Yeah.
I mean, life well lived.
Yeah.
All of these people can't be lying. Said they had great things to say about the man, his achievements.
We can go on and on. Just let's the tributes keep pouring in. We're celebrating Arnold Palmer, great golf, legend. He passed on at the age of 87 due to heart complications. That's what the agent said. Heart complications means golfing soul. Rest in peace. Arnold Palmer will definitely miss. And the number one citizen.
It doesn't get better.
It doesn't get better than this. President Obama, yes to the king, who was as extraordinary on the links as he was generous to others. Thanks for the memories, Arnold. Yeah.
President probably grew up watching watching Arnold Palmer do his thing.
Arnold Palmer has taken the final stroke and is gone, but his legacy remains. That's what we're celebrating. That's what matters. Live a life to make a difference, and that's what he has done for golf. Let's move on with the show now. Let's talk about tennis. The new rankings are I'm not surprised.
Angelique
Kerber, yeah, we said it that what she has achieved. She's the top women's player.
Yeah, for me, I'm not surprised. Whether or not she'll stay long as number one is the issue. She's closely followed by Serena Williams, Gabriel Muguruza, Agnieszka Radwanska, and Simona Halep. That's top 5. And Agnieszka Radwanska said, I think yesterday, she said, now that Serena is not number one, it looks as if the women's field is opening up.
Yes,
and she's confident that people can step up, do well against Serena, and go as go on to be world number one. And let's see how it goes. I don't think she's going to stay long, but she had an incredible, incredible 2016. That must be said. Best female player in 2016.
And was consistent.
Yes, all the way.
Novak Djokovic didn't win the final Grand Slam, but of course, still number one men's player. I mean, you have your reservations?
I don't. I mean, it created so much gap. It will take more than winning a Grand Slam to stop him from being number one. Andy Murray still in distant second.
Wow.
Stanislas Wawrinka giving credence to the fact that Novak says there's a new world order. Wawrinka, you have Milos Raonic, and you have Kai Nishikori. That's the top 5. And surprise, surprise, Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer not in the top 5. In fact, for Roger Federer, I think he's in number 12. Rafael Nadal in number 8, Marin Cilic, and you look at the men's field, Grand Slam winners in 8, and but it's a weekly ranking as the competitions. But the good thing about the top 8 is if you're going to play in the World Tour finals, you have to be in the top 8.
That's right.
And so people like Roger Federer and Nadal need to start winning tournaments to be able to get to that.
Best mover for me, my boy Kai Nishikori. See, he's 5th now and put his achievement at the Olympics at that.
Yeah, I mean, Kai Nishikori, I don't know. I think at some point the weight of expectation, first Asian player. Well, that's if you want to talk about Michael Chang, but I think Chang represented US. So, but the weight, just like what happened to Lina, I think he's beginning to crumble under that weight. But recently he's beginning to come out of his shadow. We'll see if he's able to go all the way, win a Grand Slam. He's gone into finals, gone into positions where you would expect him to do well. But I know we're going to see a lot from Kai Nishikori in the days to come.
It keeps getting better, and that's what it is. The rankings, the WTA rankings. It's Angelique Kerber for the ladies and Novak Djokovic for the men. So I'll say, yeah, right. Tell me something I don't know. It has to be Novak Djokovic. Let's move on with the show and play some football. This year's CAF Champions League final will be between Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa and Zamalek Football Club of Egypt. Let's run through the results. Toby, I don't know why that Casablanca. I thought they put up a good fight, but they left it late.
Yeah, very late for them. I mean, they were scoring a big scare for Zamalek at some point.
But when you win 4-0,
but it almost almost the reality.
Almost a shock.
At that point it was 5-1. And they needed just one.
Just a goal. They got it. I mean, for Wada, they left it so late. I mean, Wada has got enough quality to concede 4 goals away in Egypt, and I mean, they tried to turn it back
4-1 in the first leg. They could have played
even for conceding 4 goals was a very bad day for them.
In the semi-final game.
In the semi-final game.
And 6-5 on aggregate just shows that it was very, very close.
Yeah, very, very close. They came on in Morocco, did everything. Scored 5 goals. For Zamalek with their quality, they scored 2 away goals, and it was enough to take them to the final. And I mean, Zamalek, Sundowns in the final. These are teams that Imba compete with in the group stages.
Look at that, and when you look at Mamelodi Sundowns, I mean, they were there last year, playing the final, and now they're reaching the final. A testament of the development of football in South Africa.
I'd also between get to a point where that's slapping our face up and down. Because we are watching them grow.
I know.
Holding our hands. I see a lot of quality goals in the PSL, and I jokingly tell my friends like Toby and all of you that you can't score those goals against Nigeria. Beautiful goals when you look at the league. I mean, screamers. But now they did it over Zesco. Got the 2 goals that they needed. Even at 1-0, they were going to qualify.
When you even travel to Zambia to score, I mean,
that away goal made the job easy, and even when it was 1-0, they were still in cruise control. But they made it safe for themselves. Got that second goal, was cushion, and they got to the final.
And I think that's what it is. When you go away and you score just 1 goal, you just put it in the bag.
Very important.
And travel back home with it. That's your motivation right there. So the finals of this year's CAF Champions League will be between Mamelodi Sundowns and Zamalek Football Club of Egypt. Let's move on to the lower tier, the CAF Confederation Cup. But 2 seasons ago, we could still mention Nigerians, in this, but it worries me that we're not even talking about our teams in the CAF Champions League, in the Confederation Cup, and that's how I ended for the semi-final results.
The Algerian team, Bejaya qualified, played a goalless draw at home, and a lot of people thought they were out of it, but last minute goal against FGS Rabat, last minute equalizer, and they're through to the final, courtesy the away goals. So we'll see how that pans out. I didn't expect them to go this far, but now they're in the final. Then a team that all of us expected to probably be playing
in the CAF Champions League,
in the Confederation, TP Mazembe and Etoile Israel, they got a goal away, and that did it for them. They came to the RC lock shop, and they're in the final. And so it's going to be TP Mazembe against Bejaya, and we'll see how that pans out as well. But it's going to be very interesting.
I know it's going to be interesting, but something tells me you already know TP Mazembe will win.
They're a well-run club. They're a well-run club, yeah. And they have experience.
I know.
So much money to throw around, and they have international players. At some point, they had 2 or 3 Zambians, first-team Zambian players in TP Mazembe. Skafina Sunsu, I think it was Kalaba at some point. A lot of good players.
It tells you it is what you sow, you reap. And look at it, Obi was saying they missed out of the CAF Champions League. They're going to be playing in the CAF Confederations Cup final.
Very key, just need to compete. You've got 2 competitions to compete. If you don't do well in the CAF Champions League, go to the second tier and try to prove your quality in there. They got knocked out, I think, in the preliminary stages in the CAF Champions League.
And they stepped down.
They stepped down now. They are in the final. They look favourite already. But we can say we know Beja will come with a lot of quality, with a lot of big fights. With a lot of brave mind against TP Mazembe. But they're favourite already. And just need to get it right. Like Yemi said, if you want to win on the continent, the truth of the matter is you need to mix your squad with a lot of blend with quality abroad. You need to import quality players abroad to mix it with your domestic players. There's no way you will win the tournament on the continent. With due respect, you need to have that touch of foreign pros, in your squad. Balance. You just need to balance it. An entire domestic team you might find it very difficult to compete, and that is what happened to Nigeria on the continent for a couple of years now. When Yimba won, we've got Ghana, we've got Benin players playing in the squad. This is, like I said, in the CAF Confederation Cup, there was one Nigerian team that made it to the group stages. Only Yimba did everything to make it to the CAF Champions League group stage, and then we got knocked out playing the likes of Zamalek and Sundowns. We just hope teams that will represent Nigeria on the continent next season will learn, correct our errors, correct our lapses, and then we can compete at the next level. We should be competing at the semi-final stages, very important.
Very, very important. Okay, sit tight now. We're about to talk about the best thing happening to football in Nigeria. That's the Nigeria Professional Football League. What a season we're having in the NPFL this year. I don't know where to start, in case you've not been following. But guess what? The fight for the league title is going down to the wire. Enugu Rangers, they are within touching distance. They need just a point. But mathematically, Rivers United can still win the league. We'll see results from match day 37. I know these guys are all fired up, but we'll run through their results. But the biggest winners, of course, has to be Enugu Rangers. They went to Abeokuta and they got that crucial victory over Ikorodu United. We will talk about this one extensively. Rivers United failed to win at home. They played goalless with Abia Warriors. Wiki Tourist didn't win. Ifa Enuba defeated Eimba by a single goal. But it's getting interesting because right now everyone is looking towards Enugu Rangers. Coach Imama, we spoke to him this morning. He says, you guys can start celebrating, but I'm not celebrating until after match day 38, when the final whistle goes off. I'm trying not to bring these guys into it now because I know how fired up they are to talk about the domestic league.